A 20-year-old woman vanishes in paradise, and instantly the internet explodes with rumors, accusations, and even psychic visions. But what if almost everything we've heard is wrong? Today I'm diving headfirst into the disappearance of Sudiksha Konanki here in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. And let me be straight with you. We don't know who's guilty. She was not found dead, and no psychic prediction will solve this case. Look, we've all done stupid things in our 20s. I know I have, and probably worse than what she did, going to a beach at 4:15 in the morning to party. The difference is, I was lucky to survive, and she may not have. But before we all rush to judgment, before we blame an entire amazing country or point fingers at a resort known for partying exactly what she was doing, let's stop, take a step back, slow our roll, and actually stick to what we know, because I believe the truth matters no matter what. First and foremost is the young man that's at the center of this whole case right now, named a person of interest, not a suspect. That's an important distinction. And as I record this, we're 11, 12 days into this, and he still has not been named a suspect. But these are the facts. Some testimonies were leaked from different sessions he had with interrogators. And if you read the transcripts, there's some inconsistencies there. This is why many people are assuming that there was foul play, and I get it completely, and there may have been. I'm just one who looks at this like, if he's guilty, he will have his due. But if he's not, man, this is a young man who maybe got caught in a bad circumstance, and who knows? I just don't want to jump to judgment. There's already one life likely lost, unless and until I know that this young man is fully responsible. Now, the family is saying that there's misinterpretation because the multiple transcripts are done by native Spanish speakers interviewing a native English speaker. So they're claiming a misinterpretation. Could be. I don't know. But let's remember, these are leaked transcripts, not official testimonies. My guy Jay Abroad over on another channel made the point that it may have been he did something but didn't know it because he was too drunk. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. But again, I want to wait. I'm just being cautious. I want to wait until we know for sure that this young man is guilty before we say he's guilty. Now, it's interesting to me, the country, Dominican Republic, just like the United States, technically has a 48-hour hold period. If you're not charged with a crime, you're supposed to be let go. That's the law. I believe it's Article 69 in Dominican law. Thank you, ChatGPT. But the reality is, most of the time, the Dominican government says, yeah, well, whatever that says, we don't care. We're just going to hold you until we feel like we're ready to let you go. And that's what's happening here. He is at a hotel, not in jail. And a lot of people think that he's getting way too much leeway because he's not Dominican. Again, I get it. That's all the rumor, conjecture, and emotion of this. I just want to stick to the facts. And the facts are, he's been questioned. He's declined to answer certain questions on the advice of his lawyer. There is a Fifth Amendment equivalent here, so he's allowed to do that by his rights. The transcripts that have been leaked do show inconsistency. Those are not official transcripts, and he has not been named a suspect at this point. The second thing is these rumors that I'm getting sent to me, and it's by a lot of people. From what I understand, there was like a Facebook post, and somebody had an idea that it could be this, and it became like news within a certain community. So I'm getting emails and comments and direct messages saying she was found dead, it's over, she was in a grave, she was assaulted, this is what happened, she was found down the beach, they found her body, and all of that is false. So let's stick with official news sources. As much as I know the news in most cases is very biased and whatever. On this though, it's a factual reporting thing. She was found or she was not. If you see multiple news sources citing the fact that she was found, that's probably the most reputable place you can go right now. Online rumors aren't helping any of us. And this isn't about like mis or disinformation. It's simply like, it doesn't really help anything. Like, let's just wait till the facts come out. Then came the most interesting thing I saw. There's an account called Biz La Medium. Yes, a medium. And she made a stunning prediction. You ready for this? She said that Sudiksha died on the day that she disappeared. I know. Holy shit. Really? No kidding? You think she might have died the day that she disappeared? Because we haven't seen her since the day that she disappeared, and it would be very strange at this point to assume that she's been gone 8-9 days before then finally just dying? Brilliant. Brilliant. I wouldn't have guessed it. Man, unless a medium told me. Now, she also goes on to say that there was involvement of both a white and a black man. Now, we know who the white man is in the person of interest category. Who's the black man? Well, we'll see if there is or isn't. But I mean, like, you know, come on. Now, let me be very clear. I do believe in connection to spirit and all of that. And I don't need the world coming down on me because I was just picking on a medium. So all in good fun. Hopefully mediums have senses of humor. I come from Long Island, so I'll get that Long Island medium to combat Biz the medium, and they'll do like a medium battle and like conjure spirits and stuff. I don't know. Now I'm a little scared. Like if the facts come out and there's a white guy and a black guy, I'll be Oof, I'll be really scared. I'm going to go eat garlic after this and do whatever else I need to rid myself of any curses. Next up, this one just gets me. An article in People magazine, and what was said in there. We're talking about the downfall of humanity coming up, folks. I have to tell you, I'm going to warn you in advance, one of the dumbest things I've ever seen written, ever. But before I do that, a couple reminders. Down below, there's a link for my newsletter. I send one out every week talking about life down here, great places to eat, all of that stuff. Grab the newsletter and I'll send it to your inbox every week. And on this channel, subscribe. It helps a lot for me to grow the channel. I talk a lot about life in DR, life abroad, how and where to buy real estate down here, all of my experiences. I just share them, including, hey, this is what I'm experiencing as a guy living in Punta Cana right now and seeing all this negative press, but then going to the beach and seeing life as normal. So I want to create for everybody the real reality, which is everything is kind of happening. I'm in Punta Cana. I'm 10, 15 minutes away from where this all happened. My kids are going to school. I'm living my life. Everybody's fine. Tragic story, but it doesn't shape the country. But now let's talk about this People magazine article. The article is titled, "Some Guests Complain About Water Safety, Other Problems at Resort Where College Student Vanished on Spring Break." So now we're into blaming a resort for the decisions of 20-year-old adults to go on a beach in the middle of the night and do what 20-year-old adults probably do when they're drunk on a beach in the middle of the night. And to be honest with you, probably what happens thousands of times a year on these beaches every spring break, every year. I'll bet you right now, in fact, that there's a family out there that has this conversation like, "Oh my God, we met on a beach in the Dominican Republic. I can't believe I went with this strange guy down to the beach and now we got 2 kids. We're married. We have a house in Cleveland." Those stories exist. Like what she did, I think people are out of their mind like,
"Oh my gosh, she's so silly, she's so stupid."
Like, yeah, she's 20. That's what 20-year-olds do. But 99.999% of the time, the 20-year-old survives that. She may not have. And that is a tragedy and it is sad. But I'm stopping short of saying that she's some sort of like crazy idiot. Like how could you ever? When I know the things that I did at 20 and they weren't smart. I remember hopping in a car at like 19 after having way too many and saying, "I'm good, I'll drive home." And I made it. But I know other kids that I went to school with that did the same thing that didn't. I'm no better than them. They got caught, I didn't. They had a consequence, I didn't. I got to live through it by the grace of God. I don't know why. And the same here. All of you have done stupid things. Maybe you see this as stupider than what you did. That's fine. But we all have our level of stupidity that we live through at certain points. Back to the article. All right. So in the article, there is a headline piece that says, "Guest alleges lack of communication by the hotel over safety." Oh my God. In an interview with News Nation on Monday, Delaney Sweeney, who said she was a guest at Republica at the same time as Sudiksha, alleged that the hotel did not warn visitors that the ocean waves at the time were huge and dangerous. Maybe Delaney Sweeney is blind. Could be. Maybe that's the case. But I don't think so. And huge and dangerous are usually things that you can see with your own eyes. Not to mention there was a red flag on the beach which indicates kind of rough surf, but let's just keep going for a second. She says, and I quote, "I remember the waves being a lot bigger than they normally were. Me and my friends were on the beach and I remember telling them that I was not going into the ocean because I know I could swim, but not that well enough to feel safe in the ocean." Sounds like a reasonable human being. "I know a couple of friends who did go in, but they weren't in for a while, and there weren't as many people in the ocean as we normally would see." Maybe because you could see the waves were huge and dangerous. But she went on to add, "There was no communication from the resort at all. It was just kind of left up to our own discretion." Those monsters. They assumed that you as an adult human being with 2 working eyes who actually saw that the waves are too big and too dangerous to go in would know that the waves are too big and too dangerous to go in? Oh, the humanity. How dare they assume that you can tell as a fully grown adult that the waves are probably not right to go in? How dare they not say to you, "You shouldn't go into those waves"? How dare they? Because obviously, if you had seen these huge and dangerous waves, right, in this incredibly dangerous crazy country that I live in the Dominican Republic. But the hotel had communication. They said, "What, that? Perfectly safe. Go ahead, go in. You will have no issues." Obviously, you would have just said,
"Oh, well, the hotel said it's okay, so I'm just going to go in despite my better judgment and the eyeballs in my head telling me danger flashing in my head. Still going to go in because the hotel said so."
I mean, this is where this story of a tragedy turns into a clown show. The hotel's responsible for not telling you what you could see with your own eyes. The country is responsible because God made an ocean and 20-year-olds know better than to get into a rough ocean at 4 a.m. The country needs to take care of that for you? Or is it the case that 11 million people come down here, 11 million people go home for the most part, and a few have something happen like this, which is probably the case anywhere 11 million people go. Somebody's going to disappear. Somebody's going to die. Somebody's going to get killed. Somebody's going to get robbed. It just happens. But I know I fly back and forth from the United States back to Punta Cana each and every time, leaving with a bunch of tourists and then coming back with a bunch of tourists. And you know what they all do? They all had a great time. 99.9% of them. I hear them on the plane leaving like, I can't believe I gotta go. This is where this story jumps the shark for me. Like, ooh, the headline. What was it again? Complain about the water safety and other problems at the resort. The food wasn't good. That's why she had to go find food in the ocean. So therefore, if the resort only provided better food, this would have been good. There was another influencer named Coolest, I think it is, who's a great travel influencer. He goes to all these resorts and everything. And he did a take on this, having been at Rio Republica. And he did a great take saying, hey, it's inexpensive. It's a party hotel. I see people partying for days. And the way the beach is, it's far away from the end of the resort, unlike the 2 neighboring resorts right next to it. It's a great video. I'll link it down below. But then he gets into this thing, and I can't quite tell. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like he's implying like, you stay on the resort. Well, he says that. He says you stay on the resort unless you're a seasoned traveler. I'm like, oh, I'm not. I'm just a freaking goofy white dude who just lives off the resort, sends his kids into school off the resort. There's parts of the world that might be true, but Punta Cana is not one of them. Get off the resort. Go. Take a drive to Jarabacoa in the middle of the country, 4 hours away. Enjoy it. I bet you, if I handed somebody who's never been here a car and keys and said, go to this city, put it in your GPS, that whole drive, the whole way, they'd be like, I didn't see anything that was dangerous. It was actually a very easy and reasonable drive and a couple bumpy roads once I got into town. But yeah, I got here just as the GPS said. Despite what some will say and these battles I get into with people that comment and say, I'm Dominican. I know that it's dangerous there. My response is always the same, like, oh yeah, where you live? Where you live? Oh, New York? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I used to live in New York until I was about 30. That was 16 years ago. So can I say to you that lives in New York now, like you don't know anything about New York? Because I grew up there. I'm New York. I know. I'm a New Yorker. I know. No, that would be ridiculous. And I would be condescending to you who's experiencing New York right now just because my parents did something crazy years ago and I was born there. Yeah, they had sex. That's what I was implying. Grosses me out, but it's just to think that that's how I was created with those 2 people. Anyway, this is going off the rails. You get my point. This article is making me absolutely nuts just to watch this crap and see the stories coming out. Like,
oh, you see? That third world country is dangerous, right, Melvin?
Oh, you're right, Sarah. That's an imaginary couple living in Oregon. I don't know. But that's what it creates. You know what it does? It hurts local people who work in those resorts and do a great job serving all of these visitors that come down here. It doesn't make any sense. Where am I? I forgot the point of this video at this point. Oh yeah, this young girl's disappearance and just knowing the facts. So recapping briefly, the young man is a person of interest, not a suspect. Has he been given latitude? Maybe, but all we have are released, leaked transcripts, not official transcripts. There's something to potentially, maybe, it makes sense to me, that lost in translation could be a thing here between these transcripts. So let's let them clean all that up and make sure. Was it lost in translation? Or did he truly give 3 different versions of what happened here? So let's not jump to a conclusion on guilt for any human being. I don't care who they are. Dominican, American, whatever. I just don't like that. I don't like the idea that we're just gonna like, they're guilty, they're awful. I've been the victim of not like this sort of thing, but like just being told and accused of like, oh, you meant this when you said that. And it's like, no, I didn't. I never meant that. I know what I meant. So this to me is like on steroids. Now when we're saying like, this dude should be locked in a Dominican prison for the rest of his life because I saw a leaked transcript. Come on, let's be patient and see how this pans out. Second, all of this is rumors around, she's found dead and all that. Please, just let's give up on the rumors. They're ridiculous. Third, I'm sorry to the medium that I trolled and picked on a little bit ago. I meant nothing by it, and I hope you have mercy on my soul. My bad. Hopefully you only speak Spanish and don't understand this in English. But for all other mediums out there, do something for me, if you don't mind. Talk to somebody. Somebody you know. Grandma, can you talk to the medium? People Magazine, your stupid, ridiculous articles, and the person in the article, don't know that person, but like this idea, like,
You should have told me what I can already see.
wow, this is like American entitlement, like the next level. It just, this one makes my head hurt. But like, let's just look, personal responsibility. We can all agree that maybe she's young and stupid, and we've all done young and stupid things. Like maybe she did that night, but could we not like start like,
Oh my God, if only somebody told me what I could already see. That would have been way better.
and so it's just fucking and let's just let this case settle out. The key for me is I want to make sure that this narrative about the Dominican Republic being some dangerous place to come travel, to come tour, to come see is so ridiculous. Come, visit, go around the country, check it out, stay in hotels, stay in resorts, buy the little trinkets at the beach, cruise down to whatever ports are available for you to do that. This country, my God, it's given me so much. It's given me my wife. My wife has given me my 2 amazing kids. My wife's Dominican. My 2 kids are half Dominican. So this, I do take it personally when I see the attacks on the country that are just unwarranted. There are other things this country needs to do better, 100%. And even within this case, should they be holding this kid more than 48 hours? I mean, charge him or don't at a certain point, right? Like, don't over interrogate the kid and push him and like do it at 10 o'clock at night, as has been reported. There's a lot of things the country could do better. And for some of you, it might be like, if this was a Dominican, he'd be charged already. So this is garbage because he's a white tourist. Can't dispute that. That's your experience. Whatever. I get it. I get that sentiment as well. My point is there's things that can improve, but in general, you're talking about a peaceful, loving place that is truly paradise, that has all walks of life, all colors of the rainbow, all different types of people living, breathing, and working in it. And this need to vilify it because one young lady out of 11 million a year disappeared, by all accounts likely because of a bad decision that we can all empathize with. We've made bad decisions. To make that about a country, come on. Anyway, that's the update. I'll get this out as quickly as possible because this is a fast-moving story and there could be new news coming out. I appreciate you following along. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you on the next one.